Hello everyone, my name is Chinmaya and I welcome you to part 2, the concluding part of this tutorial on creating map story presentations using Google Earth Web. In part 1, I demonstrated the basics of Google Earth Web and how it can be used to create map story presentations. In this video, that is part 2, I will show you how to create shapes like set distance buffer polygons around points of interest using a free online tool. I will also show you how we can import these shapes stored in KML files into Google Earth Web projects and use them in presentations. We will also see how we can share and view Google Earth Web presentations on mobile devices using the Google Earth app on your mobile phone. If you have missed part 1, I have provided a link in the description below and you can watch it at your convenience. So let's start. So we are back again inside our major nuclear disasters project, and you can see all these slides that we had created in part 1. Now on the subject of shapes, one of the things that you cannot do with this tool that has been provided by Google Earth Web and which might sometimes be needed is, say for example, if I wanted to create a circle around this point which is equidistant, like a buffer of 500 meters, many times we need to demarcate an area. Say we wanted to find out what are the houses or buildings that are within 500 meters of this point. You cannot create a shape like that using this particular tool. So if that is a requirement, you can actually do that using a third-party tool, and you can create a KML file and then start your project rather than starting the project in the way that I have shown you so far. So let me show you that as well. So to create shapes like that, you can go to a site, and the site URL is geojson.io. I have provided a link to this in the description below, geojson.io. And when you reach this particular site, you have tools using which you can actually create a perfect circle or a perfect rectangle. And then we can save it in a KML file. KML stands for Keyhole Markup Language, which is a file that Google Earth can read very conveniently. So just for people who might be curious, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, and the geo in front of it is indicating that we are creating a file that is storing coordinates. So on this site, all you need to do is to just simply first go and reach your first location. In this particular case, I am just going to Fukushima nuclear. So as I type this, you can see that it has identified that particular location. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on it, and it takes me to that particular nuclear plant. Currently it is showing you the map view, but we can click here and change it to the satellite view. And let us say, for example, we wanted to create a buffer around this nuclear plant. Let us say 100-meter buffer. So you can just come here and click on this particular tool, and then just click once here to start a circle. And then as you move out, you will see that it's also showing you the distance. So it's currently showing you it's about 1.42 kilometers. So you can just choose a buffer of any distance that you require. Say for example, if we need about a kilometer, I have just now created a buffer of 1 kilometer. So as I reach the radius that I want, I'm just going to go here and then finally go ahead and click on it. So it creates a buffer around this particular point, and the code, the GeoJSON code appears here. We don't have much to do with this code because we will be saving this as a KML file. So after we are done, we can just come here and click on save and then click on KML to save this particular file. So if you want a ring buffer, you can also go ahead and click on the same point or around the same point and then create another buffer, which is like, let us say for example, about 2 kilometers. So you can do that quite easily. And let us say for example, this is 2 kilometers approximately or accurately. So I can also create a ring buffer, and then I can go on to my next site and let me say that this is Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and let me just try to see if I can reach that particular place. And it zooms in into that area and it has reached that particular spot. And let us say, for example, if I wanted to create another buffer around this point, so I can do that quite easily. It is 760 meters, or let us say if I want to do 500 meters or something like that. So you'll need a little bit of patience to do this. So I'm just simply doing it quickly. And then maybe you can also go to 3 Mile Island, nuclear plant. So just come here and click on it, and it will take you to that particular location. And we are now here on the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant. And if I wanted to have another buffer here, I can do this and click on it. So I have now 3 shapes here that I have created. If I wanted to do an exact rectangle, I can pick up this and create an exact rectangle that I might need, say for example here. So you can explore some of these. Once you are done with all these shapes, they are just registered here. We don't have to do anything at this particular point in time with this code. It's just showing you. And one of the beauties of Geojson is that it is in human readable form. So it's created this circle and it's showing you all these coordinates that comprise this particular circle. Usually creates 64 points for one particular circle. Anyway, just come here and click on KML. Your file is then automatically saved. In this particular case, it is map4 KML. So once this file is saved, you can head back to Google Earth. And now we cannot add these shapes into this current project that we are working on. If we needed those kind of shapes, we'll have to start with a new project, and we will have to then add everything else that we have added here later on. So after you have created that KML file using those shapes, you can come to new project and then import that KML file from your computer. So just click on this and then just reach the folder where you have this file. In this particular case, I have this file here, the KML file that I just created from geojson.io, and I'm just going to click this and open it. So as I open this, you will see that these shapes have now come, and this is a new project, and you can now keep adding any place mark, draw more shapes, add folders, add a full screen slide as I have shown before. So these are the 4 or 5 polygons that we drew in the KML file from geojson.io. And if I can just come here. So this is taking us to Fukushima, the first one that we had drawn, and it is showing us both the circles. So this is the first circle that it is showing us, and what we can do is we can just simply give it a light shade, let us say about 25% of red, and this will immediately not be visible because there is an outer circle also, so we'll have to modify that. And let us give this 25% of blue. So you can see this, and in this particular case we can also put in a little bit of information if we wanted to, like say for example blue circle 2 kilometers, and for the first one we can come here and say red circle 1 kilometer, something like that. And please make sure that you have a small info box on for this. And then what you can do is you can then just simply zoom into a view. For the first circle, we would like to, kind of come here and capture this view as we have done before. And then for the second circle, we can also edit that and have a more bigger view and capture that particular view. And the same we can do for the other circles also. So we are now going to Chernobyl, where we had created 2 polygons, and we can then just simply adjust those with different colors. Say for example in this particular case green, and then the fourth one which is on the 3 Mile Island, and I can change that to a different color as well and change the transparency of it and edit, and maybe I'm going to put a little bit of purple on this and 25%, something like this. So you can now see and edit this and capture this view. So as we start presenting, our polygons will now appear as we have shown them, and it is zooming out to Fukushima, the first one, and you can see this showing you the red circle. Then we can, as we move forward, it's showing you the blue circle. Then as we move forward, it's going to take you to Chernobyl, and all these shapes are completely intact. They are equidistant buffers. If you need any such kind of shape, you can go to Geojson IO and create that kind of shape and then present it. And furthermore, you can then keep adding other features also, other views like street views, etc., and then just simply going ahead and rearranging all these slides to make your presentation as I have shown before. And if you happen to add any additional features other than the polygons that we have created and imported, you can always come here and click on these three dots and export all these features as a KML file. So once you have exported these as a KML file, you can open them in any software that opens a KML file, like a GIS software, QGIS for example, or Google Earth Pro desktop. So that is also possible. If you add something here, you can then export the whole lot as a KML file. Now there's one other reason why importing KML files can be very useful in creating map story presentations. You don't need to actually create your own KML files like buffer, shapes, or polygons. Many cities across the world are now sharing openly and freely map and other data sets with their citizens. So for example, I have come to the New York City Open Data Portal, and you can reach this portal by going to opendata.cityofnewyork.us to follow this example. I have provided a link in the description below. So as you can see, the Open Data Portal provides a lot of data sets in different categories. You can visit the Learn link to look at some tutorials. Let's click on the data link and explore what data sets the New York City Open Data Portal has on offer. So they have tried to categorize data sets that they are offering in many different categories like new data sets, popular data sets. They have also categorized data sets by subjects and also data sets by agencies. Different agencies of the New York City are creating data, and this data is categorized as per agency. And of course, you can search for a particular subject in the search box right here or on the opening screen of the New York Open Data Portal. So as an example, I'm going to click on the environment segment, and I can now see a lot of these data sets. If you look at the right column, you will get an idea whether this data set is actually a map. Whenever it is a map, it's shown as a map. Otherwise, it is shown as a data set. So you have lots and lots of data sets that are available completely free. I am interested in sea level rise. The city of New York has predicted the areas of New York that are likely to get flooded or that have a chance or probability of getting flooded by 2050 if there is a sea level rise due to climate change. So I'm just going to type in sea level rise. So you will see that there are maps for sea level rise by 2050, and there are different kinds of projections here. Let's pick up this one, sea level rise map, 2050 100-year floodplain. And we know that it is a map. So we can just come here and click on this. And you can now see areas on the map in gray color or black color that are likely to get flooded, that have some probability of getting flooded. So if we wanted to have these polygons, which are indicating areas that might get flooded in the event that there is a sea level rise by 2050, we can just come here to the export section and click on this button right here. And you will see that you can actually download these polygons in a KML file, a Geojson file, and some other file types. Now, I just wanted to tell you one small point. You can import KML files inside Google Earth Web, but there is another file type that is called as KMZ. Now, you can also import this file type into Google Earth Web, even though the menu doesn't say this. The thing is that the KMZ file is actually a KML file, only that it is a zipped KML file. So the size of the KML file can actually become very large depending upon the number of polygons that are inside the file. So KMZ actually creates very small sizes. They are zipped KML files. So we can download either KML or KMZ. So as you click on this, your download is going to start. And I'm also going to download the KMZ file just to show you the difference in file sizes between KML and KMZ. So both of these files are exactly the same. KMZ is much smaller as compared to KML because it's a zipped version of this very same KML file. So if you are wanting to download something, you can easily go for the KMZ version, which you can import without any problem inside Google Earth Web. So as you click on these, your KML or KMZ files will get downloaded. So once you have downloaded these files, you can see them on your computer and just see the difference between these two file sizes. The KML size for 2050 100-year floodplain is 49 megabytes, almost 50 megabytes, 50 MB. And the same file as KMZ is just 14 megabyte. So you can see the difference between 50 megabytes, which is the KML file, and when that file is zipped to produce the KMZ file, it has a file size of only 14 megabytes. So that is the difference between KML and KMZ, and we can use the KMZ file freely. Now, I have also downloaded the 2020 100-year floodplain file, and this is the file that I am going to use for this demo just because it is smaller in size and it will save us some time. So once you have downloaded these files, you can then import them inside Google Earth Web and use them to create map story presentations. Now, this is a sea level rise map 2050 100-year floodplain. Now, it's possible that many people might not know what exactly is a 100-year floodplain. So with every data, if you come to the About section, you will find that there is a description of what this data is all about. So it's telling you that this is the 100-year floodplain for 2050 based on FEMA's preliminary work map data. And so as you scroll down, so you will find that there are attachments, and one of these attachments is the report that originally created these predictive polygons. So if we click on this, you will see this report, and you can scroll down and read the contents and the full report. So there is an executive summary which summarizes this report. And if you look at the contents, you will see that on page 24, there is future coastal flood risk maps. So let us reach page 24. And you will see here in this section, primary design standard for New York City, that they have defined the 100-year flood. The 100-year flood is defined as 1% chance of being equaled or exceeded in any given year. For nearly 40 years, the 100% flood zone has been considered as high-risk flooding area and subject to special building codes and insurance environmental guidelines. So this report has all the information that you need, and you can read this report. So all data sets that are offered here come with a detailed description in the About section. And if you are confused about what they are basically representing, you can always visit the About section and scroll down and look for more information. So let's head back to Google Earth and import the KML file inside Google Earth. So I'm back inside Google Earth Web, and the first thing I want to do is to click on the projects button, and then I'm going to go to the new projects button and click on this drop down, and then go and opt for import KML file from computer, because I have already downloaded the KML and KMZ files. I'm going to click on this. So I'm going to come here and click on this file and open it. And this is the 2020s file. I'm not using the 2050 file, but I'm using the 2020 file because it is smaller in size. So I'm going to come here and click on this and open it. So the file has been now successfully imported inside Google Earth Web. This file has a large number of polygons, so you'll have to be a little bit patient with it. So once I'm done with this, I can just simply come here and give it a name, and I'm going to call it sea level rise. So when you come back to your projects folder, you will see that this file is now listed under KML files, and you can see this file right here. As you zoom in, you will see the polygons that are showing the areas that are likely to be inundated in the event that there is a sea level rise. So what we can do now is, having imported these polygons, we can just simply go ahead and start creating a presentation. So we will just start a new project, and as we have done before, we will create a project in Google Drive. So I'm going to come here and click on this. An untitled project has been created. So I'm going to come here and click on this. So I'm just going to give a small title. So I've created a new project, given it a title, and now I can start adding a new feature as we have done before. So before we do this, what we are going to do is we are going to come here, and this is an important step. We have imported this KML file, but for this to be visible inside the project, when we open this project, say for example, if I come here and click on this pencil icon, you will notice that the polygons have vanished. So if we want to still see those polygons inside this project, we will have to come here and click on this pin icon here. We will have to pin this KML file to Earth. So just click on this once, and now the KML polygons have been pinned to the map. So now when you come and open this particular project, you will continue to see these polygons on top of the map. Let us now add a new feature and add a place mark. So I'm going to come here and click on this particular place, and so I'm giving a title to this place mark. Then I can just come here and choose to have a different kind of icon shape or whatever, and choose a different color. So once I have done this, I have my first view, and this is the top level view showing polygons that are likely to get flooded in the event that there is a 31-inch rise in sea levels. So I'm just going to come here and capture this view. So I want to start with this view. So my first slide has been created, as we have seen in part 1 of this tutorial series. I'm quickly going to go and focus on one area, let us say the Queens area, and particularly the area that is close to the John F. Kennedy Airport. So if I want to just create my slide considering this particular area or concentrating on this particular area, I can just come here and maybe just do a 3D version of this, just to show people how much of this area is likely to get flooded in the event that there is a 31-inch rise in sea level. So I can just come here and now add another place mark. As you scroll down, you will see that there are a few icon shapes that are available here. If you click on these 3 dots, you can come and click on see more icons, and then you can search for an appropriate icon. Like for example, if I want to see an airport icon, I can get that icon quite easily, and you will see that the icon has now changed to airport, and I can then just simply go ahead and change the color to any color that I want this icon to show in. and then I can just simply come here and capture this view. So this view has now been saved. So I've just created my second slide, as you can see. So I start with a bird's eye view, then I am showing a 3D view of the JFK airport, and then maybe I can continue doing more slides. Let us say, for example, if I can just zoom in into the area of the airport and a little bit further again. So you can see a lot of planes parked on the airport, and maybe this could be a new place mark for me. And let me just call it JFK Tarmac, and then just simply come here and capture this view. So this view has been saved, and I can then just go back. So when I start presenting this particular presentation, you will see these three views of the New York City that are overlaid with the KML file that is showing you the areas that are likely to get flooded. So this is the first slide. I can move on to my second slide, which is a 3D view of this particular area. And finally, I can go to my third slide, which is a closer view. So you can see that if there is a sea level rise, all the areas where the planes have been currently parked, they will all be underwater. And interestingly, this image has a plane that is ready to take off. So if this was the scenario a few years ahead, this plane would not be able to take off because this runway would already be inundated with water, and likewise for other runways that we can see here. So if you have such kind of KML files available from open data portals of cities, you can create map story presentations without having the need to create your own KML files. You can add more slides showing some other areas of the city that are likely to be inundated, and you can go on and on like this. So this was the first thing that I wanted to show you. And now let me show you one other example. So let's head for the New York Open Data Portal once again. So I'm back again to the New York City Open Data Portal. And this time around, I'm going to look for art galleries. So this data portal provides a map of all art galleries in New York City. As you can see, this is a map. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and you can see this as a map. And these are the locations of all art galleries. So I'm going to click on export as I have done before and download a KMZ file. So once I click on this file will get downloaded. Similarly, I have also searched for borough boundaries. So you can see that there is a map for borough boundaries of New York City. So when you click on this map, you can see the 5 boroughs that the city is divided in. These are like districts. So this is the Queens borough, and this is Manhattan, then Brooklyn, and Bronx, and Staten Island. So there are 5 boroughs here. So this map is showing you the boundaries of these boroughs. So I can once again come here and click on export and download these boundaries as a KMZ file. So once you click on this, these files will get downloaded. So this time around, I have downloaded 2 files. One is the art galleries in New York, and the other is the borough boundaries in New York. So let us head back to Google Earth. So I'm back again in Google Earth, and I'm going to click on the projects button. And this time around, I'm going to come here and click on the new project button. And like I have done before, import KML file from the computer. So you will see that these are the 2 files that I have downloaded. Let me just first click on this and open this up. So I'm taken to New York City, and here I can see all the art galleries that the city has to offer. So let me just come here and name this file, and that's just about it. So my first KML file is called as art galleries, and these are all the art galleries that are present in the New York City. So let's say I wanted to also overlay the borough boundaries just to find out where these galleries are located. Say, for example, which boroughs have the maximum art galleries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and one more time click on import KML from computer. And this time around, I'm going to come here and click on borough boundaries and just click on open. And let me just name this file as borough boundaries. This is just for my own understanding. So I have two KML files now here, and I can now start creating my map story presentation if I wanted to show which boroughs are having the maximum number of art galleries. What I can also do here is, say for example, if I wanted to change the color of each borough, I can just come here and click on this icon on my BB KML file, and all the polygons that I'm seeing here are inside this folder. So I can just click on this drop down to expand, and then I can come one by one. I'll just come here and click on the first polygon, and then just simply come, and this is the Staten Island polygon. So I'm going to come here into the second box and let me just choose a color, and then I can come here and choose a level of transparency. I'm just going to leave it at 50% for this demonstration, and I am done here. So I can just go back and then I can just come here and click on the second polygon, and this is the Bronx borough. So let me just come here and click on this. So this borough I'm showing as green. I can come here, and then I'm going to the third polygon and clicking on the pencil icon. So this is the Brooklyn borough, and I can come here and click on maybe the yellow color. So the Brooklyn borough is now being shown in the yellow color, and I can get back and click on my fourth one. So this is the Manhattan borough. So I can come here and click on the blue color, and my last polygon can remain in its original color. So I can change the color of these boundary polygons as I wish, and having done that, I have everything that I need. Now what I will do is I'm going to come to the new project button and then create a project in Google Drive as I have done before. As you will notice that I am unable to see the polygons as of now. So let me just come here and give it a name, this project, and like before, I need to pin both these files. So I can just come here and click on the first one, and then I can come here and click on my second file here. So both of them are now pinned, and then I can just return back to my art galleries project and start adding new features. So I can just come here and add a place mark and maybe create the first slide for Staten Island, and you can see that Staten Island has just 3 art galleries. So I can just add this place mark here and give it a name. So after giving it a name, I'm just going to come here and capture this view, and my first slide has been created. And likewise, I can just come here. So you will see that most of the galleries are located in the Manhattan borough, and other boroughs are not having that many art galleries. So you can see a huge number of art galleries in the Manhattan borough as visible here. So maybe I can just come here and add another place mark and click here and just simply call it Manhattan Art Galleries, and then maybe capture this view. I can always create a 3D view, and I now have my second slide right here. So when I present, it will just keep moving from my first slide, that is from Staten Island, and then I can move on to my next slide, which is Manhattan, and maybe I can then cover more boroughs by creating more slides. So the idea of importing KML files is really very, very fantastic. And you can then visit open data portals of any city. All you need to do is to just type in the name of the city and open data portal in Google. And very likely most cities would have an open data portal, and you can explore maps and download KML or KMZ maps and then just simply bring them inside and then go on to create map story presentations inside Google Earth. Now, once you're done with the project, let us come back to our original project. You can then share it using this particular button here, share project, and you can then just simply go ahead and continue. And currently it is restricted, so you can come here and put this as anyone with a link, and you can just simply copy the link and send it across to people. So if you want to give it to some specific person, you can keep it restricted, and then you can just simply add that person in this box here and provide their Gmail address, and then keep them as editors. This is just the same as you would be sharing photographs on Google Drive. So once you've copied this link, you can share it with other people, or you can put in people and bring in collaborators. This way people can then watch this presentation. If you are sharing it with everyone, please make sure that permission that you have given here is that of viewer rather than editor. Otherwise people will be able to change your presentation. So this is how you can bring in collaborators or share the link of your presentation online for other people to view. So I just wanted to point out one other interesting thing. If you download the Google Earth app on your mobile phone, Android or Apple, you can then share this project like I showed you before, and you can open that project on your mobile phone. So once you have downloaded your app and installed it, you can just simply start it. What you are seeing on the screen is the Google Earth app on a mobile phone. Then you can just simply come here and click on the hamburger icon and then go to projects and then click on open, and you can just simply say open project from Drive, and then go ahead and tap on shared with me. So you will see the projects that have been shared with you, and you can just simply click on the project that you want. I have just shared the major nuclear disaster project, and then just click on select, and that project will then become available to you. Once you have this project, just go to this more options icon and then just click on or tap on present document. So you will see a similar kind of presentation menu here, and then you can just simply keep tapping and move on to your next slide. And you have this carousel also that you can move. You can also watch the video that we have done, and then you can go on to the next slide. You can change the orientation, and you can then keep also playing with your map by pinching the map. So you can actually show this presentation or see this presentation on the Google Earth app on your mobile phone as well. So while I've shown some examples of map story presentations in these two videos, there might be some inquisitiveness about other possible topics that could be presented as story maps. So what I have done is that I have quickly visualized some idea pointers for map story presentations that you are now seeing on the screen. I invite you to pause this video for a few seconds and look at these pointers. I'm sure that as you browse through these pointers, many more map story ideas related to your sphere of work will pop up. So please do have a look. So I hope these tutorials have been useful to get you started on Google Earth Web and have generated your interest in creating map story presentations. Many thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care and bye for now.